this is Dr. Scott Peck, and welcome again to the Love Skills course. And this love skill number 32, Ask Deeper Love Questions. This is a juicy love skill. You know, we've had a previous love skill of Ask Love Questions, like what's going on in your heart, what are you most passionate about, how are you feeling, and love questions are fabulous because they bring a relationship to the level of love and soul. You get to know who somebody really is. I mean, who cares where you live and where you went to high school and what your job is and what the climate is today, wherever you are. These don't create intimacy. Love questions create intimacy. And now, when you have an intimate relationship with a spouse, with your children, with a friend, how can you take it even deeper? And that's where we talk about asking even deeper love questions. So for example, suppose I'm with you. Now here's the beauty of love questions. They aren't manipulative. It isn't like some staged script thing. They're just questions that are flowing out of your heart because, why? You want more intimacy and you want the other person to feel loved and cherished and to come forth so you can discover who they are. So here's some examples. If I was with you right now and I wanted to get to know you better, which I do, I would say, so what's really going on in your life right now? Now that's a very intimate question. And you might look at me and say, I don't want to, your first thoughts might be, I don't want to answer that, that's much too personal. But that's the whole idea. As a love master, you're creating a relationship of immense security and happiness and joy so that someone naturally wants to answer that question because they feel safe. So, they're safe because you are expressing love, and love is a safe environment. I might ask you, so what are you not talking about because no one is asking you? That's a delicious love question because so often there's so many important things going on in our life that we're not talking about because it's terrible, but no one is asking us about them. I mean, hardly people even ask, what's your passion and what's going on in your heart? The simple love questions. These are much bigger ones. The other day I was at lunch with Shannon and I looked at her and I said, I could see that we were happy together, but we weren't quite connected at the level of soul. There were things going on within her that I could feel her processing or thinking about. So I said, so Shannon, what is in your heart that you most want me to know right now? Isn't that a wonderful question? And it leaves it open for her to decide, well, then she has to ask herself, well, what is it in my heart that I want Scott to know right now? And she was able to tell me about her passion for the classes she's taking and different things going on and some issues that she's concerned about, but she just, her whole heart unpacked. And I got to see what was really going on inside her, all because I asked her, what would your heart like me to know? And isn't that a wonderful way to create intimacy? We take love for granted so often. I want Shannon to feel loved at a 10. She wants me to feel loved at a 10. I want you to feel loved at a 10. So, and yet we don't find out, is that happening? So one of the questions that I ask people who I work with, and especially people who are comfortable with intimacy, like Shannon and I always ask each other, I'd say, so Shannon, on a scale of 1 to 10, how loved do you feel right now? And it's a great question. And she oftentimes will say, 3 gazillion. But you know, once in a while the answer, and we both ask this to each other, might be a 9. Now here's the thing, as a love master, when you ask someone, how loved do you feel right now on a scale of 1 to 10? This isn't about you. You're thinking, oh my gosh, what if they're an 8 or what if they're a 7? Then what have I done wrong? And it's going to get revealed and I'll be a terrible husband or spouse or friend, so I don't want to ask that question. Well, wait a second. This isn't about you, it's about the other person. How loved do they feel? Do you really want them to feel loved at a 10? That's the real question. I want you to feel loved at a 10. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much am I right now getting through to your heart? I'd like to know. And if you answered 8, rather than taking it personally, I'd say, so what would make it a 10? And it's surprising when you ask that question, what would make it a 10? Because most of the time it's not going to be about you. You might say, well, I'm so tired today I can't focus, or I just don't have confidence in myself that I can ask these deeper love questions or create this kind of intimacy. Well, then that leads to a whole new sharing where we get to support each other and empower each other and love each other and grow together. So asking deeper love questions accelerates intimacy, and it is phenomenal for you. One thing about love questions is that as you grow as a love master, and by that I mean not intellectually, and not in terms of getting these skills down so that you can say them the correct way. There is no correct way or wrong way, but as you grow as a love master, so that love, divine love, is so cleanly expressing you, meaning your ego is not in the way, that you're able to then be the presence of love to another person. And when you are that presence of love, then asking deep love questions is not scary to you, because love isn't scared. So not get yourself out of the way, get your higher self in the path of what love is doing. So that when I look you in the eyes and I say, so having heard all of this stuff and all the things that I'm sure are percolating within you, share with me what's really going on in your heart right now. I can ask that question from the flow of pure love, because it's not about me. I really wish that you and I were together right now so that I could hear your answer. Love you. Have fun practicing deeper love questions and watch where it takes your intimacy. It's going to take it to the stars. That's where you belong. Take care.